So Morrowind being a game that's now over 20 years old, it's quite old, and a lot of mechanics and the way things are done in this game are quite different from our time and the standards that we have become used to. And so certain things will be confused for a newer player and also someone who hasn't experienced that thing, including myself, because I was quite young when these games were released. Now I wanted to share with you some of the things I learned in my playthrough that has helped me understand the game and have a better time, and really actually help me immerse myself and really enjoy the game as it is. Now, first things first, I want to show you guys how to read and read books and notes from your inventory, which are common things placed into your inventory as you do quests. Now, the way it's done with these kinds of games is actually you drop it onto your character. This is the way you use an item, and it's actually a standard from the time period, right? You drop it onto your character and you can just basically open it, and it's your action button. Another thing that's cool about this is that you can actually use this to actually remove individual items off your character, which I just learned recently. It's kind of cool. Next thing actually is your journal management, which is different and kind of archaic compared to what we're now used to, and which is much more streamlined. But when you're in your journal, the cool thing with this is it shows all the progress you've made recently and any main events that occur due to normal quest lines, side quests, guild quests, and your main quests are put in here. So it's a very good way to backtrack and gather information and kind of keep up with where you've been, what you've done. And so what they've done is they've actually added an additional layer where you can actually look up individual names and information based on the lettering. So let's look at K, for example, right? We've got this specific coal mine, we've got information about it. We can go here, and this is a creature, we've got information about it. Let's go something a bit more advanced. And so every information, bits of information that you've gathered in your time on the game can be found here alphabetically. And then you can also go into quests, which is actually your quest log that are currently active. And if you go show all, it'll show you your inactive or finished quests as well. But yeah, so this is quite cool and takes a bit of time to get used to. I especially wanted a mod for it, but now that I've kind of adjusted to it, I actually really like and enjoy using, and it gives me kind of slows me down in a way, and it just, I don't know, I like it. I don't know, it's quaint, while also being quite innovative for its time, given how old it is, right? Next thing, we're going to look at maps and local map. So obviously you've interacted with this particular map, you can see each town, but if you go into your local map, it shows you each individual building and the names associated with it. So if you're looking for something, you're doing a quest, you're looking for a person or a certain location, this is a great way to get local information and quickly reach your destination. Now, another thing I wanted to show you guys over here is if you see these buttons here, this is how you lock. You can lock these interfaces into your actual main interface, right? So let's use this map. So let's make a mini map, right? We reduce the size of this, lock it, and when I go back to my normal screen, I've got a little map going, right? How cool is that? This is one of the reasons I love this game so much. It's just customizable, and it's a very interesting way, and it shows how much more power or ability to adjust they had given all the generation of gamers, and it's just cool to see and interact with. Now, the next thing we're going to go into is actually endurance and the importance of it. Endurance is, regardless of, I think, whichever build you play, especially for a first playthrough, it's very important to cap it as soon as you can, because what it does, it increases your maximum fatigue, obviously, but it also increases the health gain you gain per level. So the sooner you level it up and max it out, the more health you will have as you level up, right? And as you can see, I'm level 16 here, and I've already capped my endurance, right? So the next thing we're going to go into is your Acrobatics, which is a skill that you can get in the game, right? It's different from Morrowind and Skyrim. Your ability to jump is associated with the skill of Acrobatics. And the higher it is, as you can see mine here is 41, the higher it is, the longer your jumps are when you're making them. And once you have it high enough, it becomes a very good way of traversing and traveling. So it really helps speed up, and it also reduces the fall damage that you might face while you're going about your business. Got some action going on here. Okay, there we go. No help needed, sorry. Okay. So that's something to keep in mind. You don't actually need to put it into your, you can put it into minor skills. I wouldn't put it into a major skill, but it's very easy to level up because you can just keep spamming jump as you're going about, right? And you're walking around places. Now to go over our two last tips, one is in relation to the debuffs that you will get playing the game. While you're doing dungeons and quests and whatnot and killing certain enemies, you will eventually get a permanent debuff. Now there's two types. The first one will usually show up as a red icon here or here, which is the same thing. And it will have certain effects on you and it will stay on. Some of them I think have a duration, but there's a lot, especially early on, that are permanent. Another type is that your stats, one of your stats will go red, maybe sometimes even more than one, and you'll see a dramatic reduction in the stats. And so you won't see an icon here for it, but you'll definitely see the reduction in red of your stats. Now, I wanted to show you the best way I've found to reduce those. So what you want to actually do is find yourself the nearest temple. And these are normally found in main cities. And you want to actually make your way to one of these kinds of shrines, these smaller ones. And these particular ones give you cure disease, cure blight, and cure poison, and it's your job to identify which one you have and make use of these. It's quite a cost-effective way to remove one of these permanent conditions. Now, as you can see, I don't have anything, so I can't remove it. But for the other one where it reduces your stats, there's actually a different shrine, and it's the Shrine of the Tribunal, right? This specific one, once you interact with it, has a specific spell, which is the Almsivi Restoration or Almasivi Restoration. I don't know how to pronounce it. So once you do this, your stats will be fully restored. And it is a very cost-effective way to reduce it. Remove these kinds of diseases and curses. And the other alternatives actually have potions on you, but this is much easier way that I found to do it and more cost effective really. Now that we're here, I want to show you guys one other thing, and is the specific scrolls. Now this one is called the Almsivi Intervention, and you can attain it from certain people within the temples. What this does is actually fast transports you. You essentially get to fast travel to the nearest temple based on your location. And this is very useful in the case that you have one of these permanent debuffs. Some of them are very strong, and especially when you're very weak early on, they will really affect your abilities in combat. So what this does will get you quickly to the nearest temple so you can use one of these shrines. Another use case for these is when you are questing and doing dungeons and you find a lot of valuable loot and you can't carry them all because you're too heavy, you can't move. But what you can do is actually use one of these scrolls to quickly get you to the nearest town where you can sell off your stock, right? Now there's another version of this. I believe it's called the Divine Intervention Scroll or the spell. But that specific one will take you to a Imperial Legion fort or city. And so that one's slightly different. That one can be attained from the Mages Guild, I think. And so yeah, this is a great way for you to fast travel, quickly get rid of these debuffs, and actually move your loot when you are over encumbered and can't move. To our bonus things that I think might be helpful for you as you're leveling, right? You need a certain amount of minor skill and major skill level ups to get a level. So here, if you go over this, you can see your progress towards next level, right? Level increase. So here I'm 10 out of 10. So what we now want to do is either find a bed, have our own bed. You can usually, if you join a guild, you'll be given a bed to use, or just find a place where there's no enemies and just do a rest until heal, which hopefully I will be able to do here. Yes, so until healed, we get to level up. And so while you're doing this, pay attention to the bonus where it shows 4x strength or 2x intelligence. And so here I get 4, so it's very good to put that 4 and to essentially maximize your stats as you're leveling. Okay. And I think finally, I think others have covered this as well, but do pay attention to your fatigue, especially in combat, because early on in the game where your weapon skills are low, if your fatigue reaches 0, that dramatically reduces your chance to hit. This is less of a problem as you level up, but early levels is very important to keep that in check and make sure you have enough fatigue while you're in combat, and this will help you not get knocked down and basically get killed very easily in this game. So yeah, these are the tips that I have for you guys. I hope they have been helpful and it will help you really enjoy this beautiful but older game that's really, it's an experience, honestly. If you can get into it and give it a go and work your way through the difficulties, it's truly a rewarding game. I've really enjoyed it, and I think at this point it is my favorite Elder Scroll game, which is kind of surprising to myself given that how much of Oblivion and Skyrim I've played all these years. But yeah guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, because I will be doing similar kind of videos, especially with retro tech and games and just informational stuff like this. And if you have any additional tips or something I've missed or spoken incorrectly about, please leave it in the comments so people can find it. Thank you so much, guys.